Well, hello, everyone. I hope everyone's had their fill of holiday trimmings, at least to start now the 2024 holiday season. Got to have one holiday to start the other holiday, and welcome to that tail end of a long weekend here, Sunday, as we are bringing you a little bit of an exhibition race from the Votive Indy Oval Series. This is recruiting race number 1 for their upcoming season 2. We're at Legacy Texas Motor Speedway today. This is P1 broadcasting coverage of that race. Joining me in the booth, and if I have not mentioned my name, this is Gary Gatto, and welcome in the booth with me is a guy hot off a win earlier this week in the INDYCAR Oval Series, and that is Brian Campbell. Brian, welcome. Second broadcast you're on with me. You passed the first test, so we got you here for the second one, and instead of DW12s, got something a little bit more familiar with you, the IR18s of the Votive Indy Oval Series.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be there, and really, I'm excited for this great race. Legacy Texas, that offers a lot of challenges for the drivers. With the exit of the corners, the way the track banks back, it's really easy to lose the rear. And in my opinion, the hardest part of this track is that quad oval. Really easy to lose your rear there and spin right into the pit lane. So I'm really excited to see how these drivers handle the challenges for 150 laps here at Legacy Texas.
And we do have a small 5-minute warm-up before the actual main event takes place, and that will give us time to get in today's starting lineup. There you see the weather conditions on your screen. 123 degrees track temperature. That is pretty darn hot here. 82 degrees ambient. The humidity is right near 50. The wind is light. Let's get that off the screen here and get into a couple of graphics that we want to show you. Winner of today's race will receive $20, and there will be a blind drawing for one of the participants to get $20 a day. So there's a little bit in this race for everybody. Here is the preseason schedule. And as you see, there is today's on the left race here at Legacy, Texas. And then on December 20th, about 19 days from now, as a matter of fact, we will be at not Legacy Phoenix, not proper Phoenix, but the improper Phoenix Raceway for the first short oval race of the exhibition season. Well, we will do 150 miles and 150 laps under the lights there at Phoenix. And as you see, that also has a $20 to first, and an additional participant will receive $20. So there's a little bit in it for everybody if you participate. That is your preseason schedule. And then getting into the regular season, here we go. As you see, it starts on January 8th, and those races will be brought to you by Mark Murphy and Ryan Eric King right here on P1. And then Homestead, Texas, and then in the middle portion of their series, their season 2 schedule, they will have a small short track mini season, Iowa, Gateway, Milwaukee, and then they will finish up on the super speedways at Pocono, Motegi, and Indianapolis, wrapping up the season in March. If you are interested, make sure to check the link in the description to join their Discord and to sign up there for their upcoming season. Everything you will need to know is in the Discord server. And let's get both those off the screen there. And about 1:40 left to play here in the warm-up. Let's go ahead and clear the graphics here and get into today's starting lineup. And this music here, Shane, this is for you. Let's try it again. There we go. We're going to do it right for you. And today's starting lineup here for the Votive Indy Oval Series Season 2 Exhibition Race 1 at Texas. And there you see their defending champion, Josh Ward, on the pole with the 2:16.2 right next to him is Brian's teammate, Clindy, who will be participating in the season. He is sporting the number 1 and is at 2:15.9 right next to him on the front row. Joining him also up front will be one of your broadcasters for next season, Mark Murphy. He is lining up third in row 2, and Matty Wags of the Area 51 series at 2:15.4. Lovern of the VOR team from the Velocity Online Racing League. He's qualified in there in row 3, right next to Costner in the 00 at the 2:15 flat. Mitchum and Costner, there are 2 Costners in this race. Back in row 4, Shane Coker, there is your host with the most. He's back in row 5, and Cruz will be lining up 10th. Sanchez and Napier will be back on row 6. Johnson and Robinson row 7. Another Johnson. We will get into. We don't know necessarily everyone's relations, but we will get into names. But right now, 91 Johnson and 83 Robinson on row 7. Number 7 Johnson and number 19 Moody back on row 8. Cacciatore and the 993 back in row 9 with the 718 Espo, and Ponce lining up in row 10 in the 19th and final position here on the starting grid.
Gotta say, as these cars start to grid up, these top 3 in qualifying, Ward, Clenworth, and Murphy, they were fighting really hard in practice. They were trying to see what worked, what didn't. Had a few incidents maybe in practice, but we won't talk about those. But I expect them to race really hard from the get-go here. Really good racing.
That's when you race. You save your hard racing for the for practice, because you don't. If you wreck in practice, you can reset, go to the pits, grab a new car. You can't necessarily do that in the race. Although, as mentioned in the pre-race, there is a fast repair here that people can use. Now, there's a difference between a league that uses fast repairs responsibly and a league that doesn't use fast repairs responsibly. And this is one of the leagues that uses them responsibly, as the racers here genuinely are pretty decent. Although in an exhibition race, you never know what you're going to get. Kind of like what Forrest Gump says, an exhibition race is like a box of chocolates, because you never know what you're going to get. But today we will see hopefully a great deal of clean racing, and no one will have to go for those fast repairs. But normally when you see those fast repairs, you're just like, uh-oh, that's a reset for someone to be a fool in the race and then come back and be a fool later. But they do a pretty decent job in this league of using those fast repairs responsibly.
We will see. This may be an exhibition race, but I don't think we'll see anybody trying to save the parts on their car. I think we'll see a lot of hard racing today. Hopefully a lot of hard, clean racing.
As we are pacing right now, down into turn 3. This is Legacy, Texas. That it means it is the old 24-degree banking on both ends of the speedways. More akin to what a lot of the classic INDYCAR races here from the mid-2000s, what they used to race on before they reconfigured turns 1 and 2. Here we go, getting ready to go green for 150 laps here at Texas Motor Speedway. Go 3 wide down the backstretch. Murph down underneath Wags. Wags is going to give him room, but he also had the crowd plenty up high. And the completion of lap 1. Caution already.
After the caution comes out.
And it is Brandon Moody. Not sure exactly what happened. We'll go back and take a look. There he is on the high side, coming off of 4. He might have touched. Oh, no, he just goes into the wall right there in the tri-oval area.
As I was saying in the pre-race, this quad oval at Texas, it's very deceiving. It's really easy just to not want to turn the wheel and get in the wall just like that. I would not be surprised if this isn't our only accident that involves this quad oval.
Well, he will execute his fast repair, but much earlier than he really wanted to at lap 3 of 150. Now, these cars do have a 75% fuel capacity, so does anyone decide to jump down pit road for a quick top off and maybe go for a slightly different strategy? Maybe someone from the rear would be probably the one that would take advantage of that.
We have Rick Sanchez coming down pit road, looking like he's going to get topped off. Hopefully he's not wasting a set of tires, as they only have a certain amount in the pit. I believe that is 5 for this race. Just getting to fill up on fuel. And talking strategy, crunching the numbers, I believe this will be a pretty easy 4-stop race, especially with this yellow. It should make it an easy 4-stop. 3-stop is a very hefty goal, but with these added cautions, you never know. Someone could try it. Rick Sanchez could try the 3-stopper today.
And we did not see him go up on jacks, so he is sticking with the set of tires he started on, which is good. It's probably a little too early to go swapping tires. I think they do give him an extra set. If it's a 4-stopper, they do kind of plan for at least 4 sets of tires, but I think they give him an extra set here in the league, if in case they forget to click at that checkbox that says don't change tires, which has happened to all of us before.
Never a fun experience when their cars go up on the jack.
It's like, I didn't mean that to happen. No. Now, you have experience in real racing. Now, if that were to happen in real racing, right, you could use those tires again, right? In racing here on the sim, once you take a set of tires off, you never see them again.
Yep, exactly. In real racing, you can get away with it and put the scuffs back on, but in the sim, once the tires are gone, they're gone. Firestone comes and takes them away immediately, and you're not allowed to put them back on the car.
Getting ready to go green next time by. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday afternoon now. Help us keep all this good positive momentum of the Votive Indy Oval Series. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 broadcasts, including this Tuesday, doubleheader Tuesday of the INDYCAR Oval Series, where Brian Campbell and a whole bunch of other guys are going to brave the iRacing Super Speedway for a meme race extravaganza.
Going to be a good one, and there's a little bit extra on the line, as me and Kyle Clenworth will be battling for 2nd place in the overall championship position, so it'll be a great race. I hope you guys tune in.
At 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time this Tuesday. Getting ready to go green. Josh Ward waits till the last second to get up to the wall.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are back green underway here at Texas. Top 4 have kind of broken away. That is Ward, Wagner, Clindy, and Murph. Sam Costner, Lovern, Mitchum, Ashton Costner, and Turner and Josh Cruz make up. And we're cautioned again, and it is Vincent Cacciatore in the Connor Daly throwback U.S. Air Force car from 2018, I think? 2020. I think it's 2020. Yeah, there he goes. Let's see what happened to him.
Pierce, he just lost it when the banking came away from him. I think I'm 2 for 2 on pre-race predictions on what would give drivers challenges.
Yeah, a little too much wayjacker, and ooh, bam, bam. And he is going to hit much in the same situation that happened with the first caution. He will come to pit road and get that fast repaired and not really lose much of anything other than his fast repair.
Yeah, but you never want to lose a fast repair this early in the race. It makes you have to race differently, because now you know that your next incident
Is your
is
last. Yeah.
You have such a long part of this race to go.
And here comes Rick Sanchez back down pit road for another top off.
Can't blame him. Maybe he will make this 3-stopper work. But no, this is very easy to do, just losing it off the exit of the corners, especially when these cold tires and the pressures are low. So easy to just lose the rear and have this rear snap off on you in this car.
124 degrees track temperature. So it is pretty slick out there.
And we do have gusts of about 11 miles per hour coming from the east, northeast, is from what I'm reading. So that does make it a little bit more difficult for these cars for just staying planted when you have gusts of wind that high.
My wind meter is not working, so we'll have to get that looked at. But yeah, 11 miles per hour gusts. I mean, that is pretty significant for to catch the side of an Indy car.
Oh yeah, not a good feeling at all.
Wags did get around up to second. Clindy is third, Murph fourth, and Costner is fifth. That is your top five. We are lap 8, second caution of the day. Going green next time by, coming to lap 10. And Angelo Espo also on pit road, coming down to get a bit of a top off. So Moody, Sanchez, Cacciatore, and Espo now are kind of on a bit of a different strategy. If we go into a long green run, we shall see. Coming down to green this time by, Josh Ward will bring the field on through. Right with him is Wagner and Clindy. Top 3. Green flag, here we go. Well, Josh took a very narrow, or very shallow line in the 3 that time. In the battle between Lovern and Costner. So this is Mitchum, excuse me. Ooh, almost contact.
Contact, very close.
Get back in line. Going to cost us some momentum. Here comes Turner Johnson on the high side. Mitchum gets all that momentum back, although he goes high with the arrow wash this time. Here comes Johnson underneath with the swap over. He can get underneath, he'll get the position. That's kind of how it works here at Texas.
Looks like Mitchum was able to hold him off there. I believe that checkup when him and Lovern were getting close, I think that might have been Mitchum saying, you know, it's a little too early in the race to be doing this.
Yeah. Discretion is the better part of valor at lap 13 of 150. There you see the defending series champion, your leader, Josh Ward. Also has been making some appearances in the top split of the Indy Oval Series. And you've raced against him. What's your take on Josh Ward?
He's fast. Just plain and simple. The guy has a lot of speed to him. He's always a threat to win in any race he does. And as we're seeing today, he's leading semi-comfortably over Matt Wagner right now. Matt Wagner, you never know. He could be trying to save fuel right now, too.
Ashton Costner down on pit road. It looks like he might have had a moment coming off of turn 2. And look like he is coming down to possibly maybe get some contact with the wall looked at, or go ahead and get a new set of tires after probably overheating the other set. Here we see him coming down the pit road.
I just went back. Costner, he got loose and hit the inside wall. Unfortunately, he did not get a yellow out. So while he does have a fast repair, this will send him a lap down.
Ooh.
We'll need to get the wave around.
Mitchum and Lovern back at it, but this time Mitchum by on the high side over Lovern.
Mitchum, he's been making this topside work. He's gaining a lot of time on these cars in front of him.
And he's running that high line, and then he's using the banking to get a good run. He's going to take a look to the inside of Coster in the 0-0. And he clears him. And move Mitchum up to 5th. And if he can keep up with the top 4, and there we see a battle for position between Wagner and Murph. Almost called them Mags. And there he goes. Murphy around Wags, gets the position.
Clendy and Josh Ward are having a battle for the lead right now.
And Clendy got him at the line. And there again, see Clendy using the banking, swapping over, going down low. Going really low. He thought Josh maybe was going to go down to defend. And pulls off the pass, gets the position, and then gives him the aero wash immediately. Ooh.
It's that quad oval. It's
not a quad, yep.
Look.
And again, Mitchum to the inside of Wags. Now, you don't see Wags get passed very often by 2 cars. Ooh, a little loose. Both of them off of 4 by 2 cars in a row, which makes me, makes me think maybe you're right with Wags. He might be saving some fuel. And we're going to catch Wags again this Monday in the INDYCAR and the ISRA Open Wheel Series. If you used to watch the old Lionheart Series back in the day, the ISRA has made up a lot of the former Lionheart regulars. And that will be at 9:35 p.m. Eastern on Monday for round 1 of their series. Looking forward to that. That'll be me and Luis Gonzalez Nunez in the booth for that. And Matty Wagner will be part of that lineup. As well as I think Mark Murphy, I think even Clendy will as well. Clendy to the high side of Ward, way up in the gray, swapping over again down the backstretch. Gonna have the position going into 3.
This may be a case of them swapping to just get faster lap times. They have pulled away from Wagner and Mitchum, and Murph is just hanging on to the draft. I think this may not be so much a battle, but Josh Ward and Clendy working somewhat together to try to get lap time.
Again, back to the swap position in turns 3 and 4. Then here comes Ward to the inside, going in the 1 and 2. And there you got about of a 0.4 of a second cushion over on Murph. Murph still in the draft. Say hi to everybody in chat. Eric Peterson, my man from the Dark Horse Series, checking in. Amy checking in as well. Daniel. And then there's Julian and Cal with saying hey to Ponce. So again, thanks for checking in on chat. But further in the back, Angelo Espo has moved up to 16th from starting on the last restart at the tail end of the field. Your biggest gainer so far is Turner Johnson, up 5 spots. There he is. And he is right now under attack by the host with the most, Shane Coker. Shane's moved the 32 up to 9th spot.
Another Johnson not having as good as a day as River Johnson. He hit the wall coming out of 2, and now he's on pit road, and he's just leaving now, but he will go a lap down, it appears. him and Peter Ponce. Ponce is actually 4 laps down, so he might have had to tow.
And Ashton Costner on pit road. Well, now we're starting to get into a bit of a consistent run, but now for the first time, Ward experiencing lap traffic with River Johnson, who just came out of the pits. And that could actually impact Clindy a little bit.
It will, because River Johnson is taking the line that Josh Ward wants. He's letting him go now, but they will have to run the high line here.
Johnson's trying to stay out of the way. Clindy wants to go high through the corner, but he's going to take the bottom, which is the available route there. So he is clear of River and will now try to reel back in Josh Ward. Next up for the lap traffic is Mark Murphy.
This just goes to show how difficult it is to pass here with dirty air. Even a lap car is managing to hold these leaders up a lot. And Clenworth in that lap, he lost 0.3 of a second to Josh Ward just because he had to deal with lap traffic.
And let's ride with Murph, as everybody is 32 laps into this stint. Many of them on the original set of tires they started with. There goes Wagner around Murph, so I think they're starting to work together to try to reel back in the lead pack.
That would be the smart thing to do. Something to note here, I believe my estimations are that the fuel run will be about 40 laps here in traffic, anywhere around there, but it is important to remember that with the 10 laps of cautions, it will extend that out. So I wouldn't be surprised to see drivers go 45, 46 laps, maybe even more, maybe even pushing 50 laps on this fuel run. As we start seeing these tires wear out and drivers having to adjust to now their new feeling of the car.
And we're watching Murph right now as they're riding just over his shoulder, and he's going down the 4th gear in these corners. "25-second laps here."
Yep. And to put that in perspective with the tire fall off, Murphy's fastest lap this race was on lap 21, which was a 24.362. So he was 0.7 slower than his fastest lap right there.
Oh, we got a caution, or at least, yeah, there it is. Finally, there is a Cacciatore at the quad oval area.
Right in front of the leaders, too.
See what happened. Oh, too much weight jacker.
Yep, simply just got loose out of 4. Ended up hitting the wall. And this is his second incident, I do believe. So I do not think he has a fast repair left. And he did get in that wall pretty hard.
I don't think he touched the wall.
I think at the very end, did he? Oh, no, he locked it down.
Yeah, he got super close. Super fortunate. And also brought out, because he came to a complete stop, brought out the caution. So we are under caution, and it is timely caution because I would imagine everyone's coming to pit road.
I would be very surprised to see anyone stay out here unless they are a lap down trying to get the wave around. Other than that, I believe we'll see everyone down pit road this time.
So this
by.
is about as close as you're going to get to a scheduled stop here early in the race. And here come the leaders down on the apron. Everybody coming in. And Josh Ward done and away. Lindy done and away. Wagner right there on his quarter panel back on his right side. He is down and away. Murph down and away. Mitchum keeps 5th spot. Costner in 6th. Lovern 7th. Coker up 1 spot. We saw him in 9th not too long ago. He is now 8th. Cruz 9th. Cruising that AJ Foyt throwback. Of course, we got a good AJ Foyt story here for Texas. Turner Johnson. And that's a very colorful car. I like that livery. It's definitely catchy on the feed. He is back in 10th.
I'm really excited to see how this restart is because all of these drivers in here just had a long run where they saw how the field plays out and how it does become difficult to pass on old tires. So we could see a little bit of added aggression on here on this restart. See guys trying to gain as many spots as they can before this field kind of settles in.
There you see the power team number 22. Throwback to Kenny Breck when he raced that livery in the Indy Racing League. Of course, Kenny Breck does hold the official track record here at Texas Motor Speedway, and it was from qualifications of the ill-fated Firestone 600 when CART tried to come here in 2001. Kenny Breck turned a lap of 233.4 miles per hour at that speedway. In comparison, the IRL track record is 225.9, set by Billy Boat only 2 years earlier. Speaking of AJ Foyt, another one of AJ's drivers, set in 99. So they were really smoking around here when CART chose to come race here, and it was really one of the first direct fire races that CART really wanted to put their cars up against at a track where the Indy Racing League was really considered its second home next to Indianapolis. Back in the day, Indy Racing League used to hold 2 races a season, one of which used to be the season ender here at Texas. But CART tried to come here in 2001, and a lot of drivers started having incidents of vertigo, suffering vertigo. Yeah. And the doctor said, nope, we're not going to run the race. There's too much danger here. And actually, I think if you want to argue about it and have a debate about it, this event kind of was one of the events, or maybe the event, that led to the downfall of CART, and that later led to them going to the Champ Car World Series and then had to fold because of lawsuits and everything as a result of them having to cancel this race.
Yeah, it definitely didn't help. And to put this into perspective, you just said the lap record is 233 miles per hour. There was cars at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway who couldn't even hit an average lap time of 233. And that track is a bit bigger than Texas.
Yeah.
It's 233 around this oval. That is moving. And it was a smart move to cancel that event if you go back and see what the drivers are dealing with.
Getting ready to go green.
Green.
And we're back underway. One of the things that I remember from that weekend is I think it was an incident by Adrian Fernandez, I think, where he wrecked off a 2. And his car didn't stop running or moving until they got to turn 4. The exit of turn 4. Caution again, and I think we got Gary Lovern.
Oh, big one. Big damage to Greg Robinson.
Let's watch this again. Lovern. He
Got
was in the top 10. And loose going into the corner, goes to the apron, catches it, brings it back up.
and the field's so packed together from the restarts. There's some guys unfortunately got piled in. Oh,
And there's a third incident. Rick, was it Peter Ponce? Try to get camera angles. There was a third incident there, and I think it was who was driving the Larson livery?
that's Greg Robinson. He got ran into the back of by Moody in just an unfortunate incident, and really
Oh, he got
nothing
loose too. He got loose going in the one as well, almost identical to Lovern.
Yes.
Mrs. Lovern, and then Moody just punts him. Kind of a little bit of an arc of break there.
Yep. But yeah, Robinson's actually lucky he didn't get damaged from getting loose. That's actually was an amazing save he had entering one.
So is that a little bit of a case of again, full physics aren't impacting your car. You're not up at the full speed. You don't have the full aero package. You don't have the full aero downforce impacting you going into one. You're still coming up to speed. So is that a little just too much weight jacker, a little bit too much rear bar that you need to adjust for that on the restarts?
Yes, exactly. On these mile and a halves, it's a common theme with all of them that on restarts, if you go all the way from the top to the bottom, that added G-force and less speed for that downforce pushing your car into the track, it just can cause your rear to go. And we saw it with Gary Lovern, who got into the wall, and then Robinson did the same thing, and it actually looks like someone else got loose, not nearly as aggressively, but I saw 3 cars get loose there entering one. That's something that all the drivers are going to have to keep in the back of their mind in every restart going forward here, that's something that can happen.
I remember back in my one and only fixed Indy 500. I have one start to my credit here in the fixed Indy 500 here on iRacing. Started 5th, finished 4th. So, top 5 for me. But I remember practicing restarts and always, for whatever reason, at Indianapolis that season with that tire model and with the way that they had the latest code for the track, there was a very nasty snap of oversteer coming up to speed on restarts in Indianapolis. So I made a mental note that during the 500, instead of you're trying to loosen the car up all race long at Indianapolis so you could rotate the car and get it to turn behind the aero wash. I remember making a note to tighten the car up on restarts because there were cars that would have the problem, and they would you would watch them get loose in front of you, and then you could get a run on them and basically get a free spot every restart going into turn 3. And that was the big money maker for me in my Indy 500, is that every time we had a caution, and there weren't that many, but no one was picking up on the fact that there was loose in turn 1 on the restart. And I'm like, okay, well, you send the weight jacker the other way, maybe stiffen the rear bar a little bit, soften the front bar a little bit, and then all of a sudden, that looseness that is impacting everybody else in the field, you're ready for it, and you're able to attack right off the bat.
It's actually something we see in real life too. The 1992 Indianapolis 500, it was notoriously cold, and the tires would get so cold that people were getting loose. We actually had the pole sitter, I believe. I can't remember if it was the pole sitter or someone who was starting in front wrecked under the pace lap.
Yep, that was Roberto Guerrero. Yeah, that was Roberto Guerrero.
Was he on the pole for that race?
Yep, and he was the track record holder until Ari beat all of his records in '96. But yeah.
So that just goes to show you, obviously it's a different chassis back in '92, but cold tires, they can do weird things to the car.
Green, green, green.
All right, here we go, and we'll zoom out and watch. Lovern getting a big run on the high side. Nowhere to go now. A slow car to the inside. Whoa, 3 wide going into the corner.
I think that's a product of drivers scared of turn 1 after seeing what their competitors had just done and taking it very conservatively, and other drivers taking it the normal route.
.49
Also,
of 150. Coming to 50.
Something I do want to point out, Gary
Yeah.
Lovern and Rick Sanchez, while they did have their fast repair, they were first to tow back to their pit, which is a couple minute delay.
Yeah.
So they are both 2 laps down while they are in good condition.
Watching Lovern in this battle. They're going to go 3 wide off a 4. Not so fast, my friend, as they get back in line.
Someone hit the wall in the quad oval there. It was Napier checking this pack of cars up.
That battle toward the rear of the pack is just like an angry pack of bees.
Yeah, and you know, some of these guys in here I think are actually being extra cautious because they know it's still early in this race. We're not even halfway done, and we just hit the third. We're only a third of the way done, and some of these cars in this battle don't have a fast repair, and they're seeing all this mayhem going on in front of them, and I don't think they want any part of it.
Oh, jeez. River Johnson with the slide, the Brazilian clear. I think that is trying to still learn names. That is the hardest part with exhibition races, and typically round 1 or round 2 races is learning all the new names and paint jobs. I know most of them. We know most of them, a couple of them from the INDYCAR Oval Series. We also know some, like we're watching Gary Lovern here. We know him from the VOR Series. We know him from the community, like Angelo Expo. There he is. Shane Coker moved up to 7th spot there in the green 32. But Clindy is your leader, and he is pulling away by 0.8 over Ward. So once Clindy got around, he is not going to waste any time.
I'm actually a bit surprised with this, with Ward falling behind to 0.8 of a second back. I wonder if he's trying to make a fuel save strategy work. I'm just surprised to see him so far back with how well they were drafting together earlier in this race.
Well, the top 7 have seemed to kind of separate themselves. Actually, top 8. Everyone's kind of in a time zone of their own. The really close racing doesn't get close until we get back here to Moody. And we got Gary Lovern back there as well. Oh, clipping the grass.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the quad oval, it's very deceiving, but I'd argue it's actually the hardest corner on the track at times.
I would agree with that.
Side.
I would agree with that for sure, yeah. And it narrows down there, and when you have someone to your inside, it is really tough to tell how much room to give them.
It's a lot sharper of a turn than you first expect, just looking at it. And with my fuel save theory going on, I wonder if that played into the product we saw at the back of the field with that large pack.
Ooh.
If we had some cars trying to fuel save and some trying to go full bore, and the communication between the two just wasn't working out.
There we see Moody get into the wall on the exit of turn 2. Meanwhile, back up front, Wags attacking Ward now. Ward defending up top this time. Check out this battle between Coster and Mitchum. That's getting pretty close as they're both up in the high line. We'll get back to the closest battle on the racetrack. You're looking at it right here. Battle for second. Ward and Wagner. Wagner to the inside of Ward. If he holds his position, he should pull off the pass, even going into 1 and 2. Here we go, side by side through the quad oval area. And you see Wags actually widen his corner out, push up Ward higher on the racetrack than he wanted to for that entry. And Wags pulls off the pass, but here comes Ward again, tacking to the inside. Now we're going to have a little cooperation. No.
Ward tried to, but it's looking like that bottom line on the exit of the corners. It's getting difficult for these cars to stick down there.
126 degrees track temperature. This is one of the hotter races that we've seen through the history of races that we covered on the old channel and on P1. We don't see very many races get near 130.
It always brings an extra challenge because it just the grip of the tires, they just go away exponentially with that weather going up.
It's really weird. You would expect the cars with all the downforce they have and all the banking this track has that you just go into the corner, turn the wheel, and you kind of expect it to stick. But the hotter the track gets, the more worn these tires. It doesn't stick, amazingly. You scoot right up the racetrack and smack the wall.
No, and it's horrible for your tires because it's a compounding game. Because if you're sliding your fronts, trying to make that bottom work, you're just heating up your tires more and more, and you're making them less and less efficient for later in the race.
This is still your closest battle on the racetrack. Clindy is your leader. Lap 68 of 150. Wagner, Ward, Murph, and Coster, your top 5. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, as Charles said to do in chat. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Next race for us will be Monday evening at 9:35. You'll see this guy right here, Matt Wagner, among others in this lineup, and the ISRA Open Wheel Series, round 1 coming to you from Homestead, 9:35 p.m. Eastern. And then Tuesday will be a doubleheader, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time for the INDYCAR Oval Series, which Brian Campbell is in a podium position fight for. That's all next week, early next week. And we're into the holiday season.
Speaking of our tires losing grip, Kyle Clenworth just had an amazing save on the exit of turn 2 there. Definitely put some fear on him as the leader.
He exited a little lower than he wanted to on that one.
Something I do want to say with Kyle Clenworth too is he will be coming up on lap traffic, and as we saw earlier in the race, this dirty air, it'll be difficult. And this lap traffic, it's not just one car, it's 4 cars. It looks like it's that pack you were watching earlier, and with 4 cars, that dirty air just gets worse and worse. So it'll be exciting to see how Kyle Clenworth has to battle through all that dirty air.
We're riding with the first car, and you see that teal car off in the distance. It is getting closer.
Matt Wagner, he's definitely trying to pounce right now. I'm sure he saw Clendy get loose, and he knows he's struggling, and he just wants to get up there and capitalize on it as soon as he can.
Riding from the gearbox of Ashton Costner, as Clendy really tearing into that deficit between the end of the field and where he is on the racetrack. Now 2.3, 2.2 up to Costner.
In this battle of lap cars, they appear to be side by side, and that'll give Clendy nowhere to go when he catches them. But we do see one losing the pack as
that's Moody.
River Johnson, I think, got in the wall as well. And yep, River Johnson's just slowing up, letting the leaders by.
I think Moody just lost a front wing. Where did he lost it at the quad oval with Greg Robinson.
So 2 of the 4 in that pack have had issues already. Moody's in the wall.
Moody's in right in front of the leader. And he does make it the pit road. It's not a safe entry, so I think he's going to get a black flag on that, but he's already going to be penalized for the wing swap.
And, you know, Kyle Clenworth, he has to be praying that that doesn't happen to him. 2 cars getting in the wall right in front of the leader in a 2-lap span. That is never a good feeling.
Now, we've all been there. We've all been a back marker at one point. And the best advice if you become a back marker in a race is really become predictable. You want to hold your line, and you want to allow the leaders to pass you the most efficient way possible. There we see Murphy and Ward side by side going in the 3. We'll take a peek at that before we get back up to Clendy, who is getting around Robinson, excuse me, and he gets the track position, moving Robinson another lap down. Robinson's now 2 laps down. And the next car on the racetrack is going to be Ashton Costner, who is 17 laps down at the moment.
You were speaking earlier of the back markers. I will commend River Johnson and Moody. While they were having their own issues, they made sure to be very predictable. River Johnson gets loose in front of Clendy.
I think it's Ashton Costner.
Oh, apologies, Costner.
No, it's okay.
Clenworth. He has to be so happy right now to see nothing but clean track ahead of him.
Yeah, we're still learning these names and livery. That's like I said, it's always the most difficult part of and the regular broadcaster for this league. There he is. He's in 3rd spot right there, coming off the corner. That's Mark Murphy. He knows a lot of these guys, so he probably knows them by paint job automatically. And Murph is coming to pit road.
Pitting.
So he is now 40 laps into a sitting. He might be short pitting.
This does appear to be scheduled stops, as Clenworth is also signaling that he's coming into pit along with Matt Wagner.
Wagner! Oh!
He got it slowed down in time. I think he's good.
That was so close, but yeah, that's exactly what you want to do coming to pit road.
Clenworth, he can't even hit without someone scaring him on track.
And I think Wags might almost get the edge on him. He came into the box a little bit hotter.
They do need to be careful in this pit exit. It is not easy flat out. They both make it out safely. Wagner has the run, and he will get around Clendy, it appears.
Shallow entry. And River Johnson in the neighborhood. and wisely tucks in behind Clindy. Josh Ward is your leader. He stayed out. He is coming to pit road right now. Mason Mitchum also coming to pit road right now. Coker coming to pit road. Turner Johnson on pit road. Josh Cruz now on pit road. So this will be the battle for the lead once they make the rounds. This is Wagner and Clindy for P6 and 7, but will be P1 and P2 when they overtake everybody in the pits, just as they're doing now.
Clendy's using that high line. He's trying to get the run off the corner.
Oh, can he get that nose any closer to the gearbox? Here's the gearbox.
Clendy will have a great run, I suspect, here out of 2. As we see cars coming out of the pits, that'll add some dirty air into this battle as well.
.220 entering the turn that time. 127 degrees track temperature. Keeps going higher. Oh! Oh!
Right.
Wags into the wall!
Wagner looks like he had to make a little adjustment for Greg Robinson pitting ahead and got him in the wall. I'm not sure if that gave him damage or not.
That was a pretty decent lick.
I would suspect he does have wheel damage from that lick if I had to bet money on it.
Kind of giving it a little extra room to the car to the inside. Think back to the 95 Indy 500 when Michael Andretti did something very similar when trying to pass Mauricio Gugelmin, who was coming to pit road off of turn 4. Gave him a little extra room, and then on the exit, smacked the wall and ended his day. That was his last Indy 500 for till the 2000s when he came back as a team owner. Clindy, Wagner, Murphy, Ward, Mitchum. Right now, all eyes on Wags as we will see if there's any damage. Last time by, he did a 25 flat. Clindy did a 24.9. Not too bad in terms of any difference in speed there. Of course, he's still in the draft. 89 of 150.
I do suspect that Wagner does have damage, but he should be able to nurse it until his next stop, where I do believe he still has a fast repair available to get his car to full health. So right now, I'm sure Wagner's goal is just nurse it to that next pit stop under all costs. Oh, and he just hits the wall again. Oh, no.
And now he is down. Now he's definitely down on power. Let's see if he brings it back up.
And he's already saying he's pitting in. Wagner does have the meatball flag, so he does have to pit. This will send him a lap down. This is the one thing he did not want to happen, unfortunately.
Here he comes safely off the banking onto the apron, slowing down to the cones. This will allow him to use a fast repair, but he is going to go down at least a lap. So far, all those have used fast repair. We have Ashton Costner have used one, Moody, Sanchez, Cacciatore, Lovern, Robertson, Johnson, and now Wagner. He's going to top off, get new tires, and see if he can maybe stay out longer than everyone else and catch a lucky yellow. Back up front, it is Clindy, who now is your leader by 1.4 seconds, and he's about able to break the draft envelope from Murphy, and he has. He's actually 1.6 seconds now, so the draft envelope has been broken. Murph does not have the aid of any arrow hole in front of him. No low pressure zones in front of Murphy whatsoever. But the thing is, Murph, technically speaking, if you're outside of the draft envelope, that means you have mostly clean air in front of you. But also as a result, both Clindy and Murphy are not able to extend really much on mileage other than turning down the fuel map and do a little bit of lifting the accelerator and coasting a bit.
Yeah, we're seeing Clendy. He's having a slight lap time fall off, and I would credit that to Josh Cruz right in front of him, giving him dirty air. And Josh Cruz, he's going to fight for everything he has because he wants to stay on that lead lap.
So
in case of the yellow.
That is a very good segue when you're talking about Josh Cruz and fighting in an AJ Foyt livery. Of course, the very first race back in 1997 here of the Indy Racing League coming to Texas Motor Speedway was won by, or at least by, the checkered flag was Billy Boat, who took the checkered flag. And as Billy Boat is celebrating in victory lane with his team owner AJ Foyt, in comes Arie Luyendyk, the fresh off the second Indy 500 win for him just a week earlier. And he's telling everybody that he is the winner. And AJ did not like that level of disrespect. And as Arie turned around to walk out with a last-second comment, AJ withheld comment other than what was the back of his hand on Arie's head. That was his final comment as the Super Tex, the old codger there, got into a roll around with Arie Luyendyk at victory lane, had this get separated. As it turned out, timing and scoring from the race was wrong, as USAC was still controlling the timing and scoring of IRL races then, and Arie Luyendyk actually was the winner. So in the record books, Arie Luyendyk is credited with the win at Texas. However, Billy Boat has never returned the trophy, and neither is AJ Foyt is given the trophy to Arie Luyendyk. So there you go, your first win here at your first race at Texas Motor Speedway in the Indy Racing League was kind of a curmudgeon at the end, and it actually led to IRL dropping USAC from being the official timing and scoring keepers of the league, sanctioning body, and they became their own sanctioning body.
Think you'll ever see anything similar to that today?
Well, we
Get
see
a team
fights
owner up there.
It's going to be in a series with fenders, I'm sure. And Clindy trying to featherfoot around lap traffic as he gets around Cruz. Now getting around who's in front of him right there. That's Sanchez.
Yep. Now Murphy's going to want to get around these lap cars as fast as possible because he's only 9/10 back of Clendy. And if he can catch that draft, anything's possible for Murphy. And Murphy gets around the lap car, and he is well within Clenworth's draft range.
So we got a question for you in the chat. Can you use Weight Jacker to help with the issue of sliding up because of track temps?
Yes, you can, but it's a very fine line because you don't want to do it so much that you end up, instead of sliding your front tires, you slide your rear tires. Weight Jacker, it can help in those situations, but it can also compound the issue and just make your tire wear worse. So on the long run, it can make it even less drivable, if that does make sense.
And the difference between, really, for those that are still learning how to drive these cars, the difference, and we're watching Josh Ward here as he is working his way through traffic. The difference between using your bars and your Weight Jacker, your bars are for more major adjustments, which would be track temperature, major temperature changes in the track temperature. That's where you probably want to change your bars. Your Weight Jacker is more for your subtle refinements.
I agree. And if you want to look at it this way, the Weight Jacker almost, when you go up on the Weight Jacker, you're almost forcing that right rear and you're pushing it more and more into the ground to get more grip out of your tires. But it is possible to push too hard to where your tires don't have that grip anymore and it just slides right out from under you. If you want to look at it like that. So when you go up on the Weight Jacker, think of it as you forcing that right rear more and more into the ground while you're into the corner.
We're watching Murph now 5/10. In front of Clindy is the Johnsons, Turner and River. Turner's in 7th spot on the lead lap. He wants to stay there. Rivers in 13th, 2 laps down. And he has been caught, and so is Clindy. Right now, your top 7 are on the lead lap. It is Clindy, it is Murph, it is Ward, Mitchum. Coker is in 5th, the host with the most, and Costner is in 6th. Turner Johnson in 7th.
So we're getting closer and closer to pit stops coming up. And with Murphy right on Clenworth's rear, I think it's in the back of his head that he got caught on the entry of pit road on the last one by Wagner. This may cause him to try to be pretty aggressive on this pit entry, as if you can pass somebody in the pits, that's a lot easier to do than passing them on the track, as we're seeing passing being very difficult here after the tires get into the temperature range.
Laps are in the 25.2s now. Fast laps are in the 25.4s. Clindy does have the purple lap of the race at 24.450. Give you an idea of what the fastest lap is. There you see Clindy 2:14.9. But here, we're giving an idea of last lap's turn. There you go. They're way off what they're normally doing. Clindy underneath Johnson. Going to put Johnson a lap down. 207s, 205s, 207s, 206s, 203s. Riding with Murph right now. The last
plate that dirty air of Johnson in front of him.
Last weekend, Murph was in the Open Wheels 500, where he brought his car home in a top 15. And you might say, top 15, that's nothing. Well, you go race the Open Wheel 500 and see how many people you could pass.
A top 15 with that competition is something to be very proud of.
There he is. There is Johnson staying high. Underneath, Murph gets the run. Murph has been running the higher line, so I think Murph wants the higher line. Now he's still running racing Johnson. And he's clear.
Murphy's going to want to try to close this gap as much as he can to Clenworth before he has to make his final pit stop, which we should be coming up here pretty soon in the next 5 laps or so. And I think Clendy got loose off the corner.
Yeah, let's or someone in front of him got loose. There we see. I mean, we're on a lap 34 so of this run. So these tires are pretty well smoked at this point. And there we see him just doing his normal line through 1 and 2. And now he's coming down off the banking, what he's been doing all race long. And no, I think there was a car in front of him. I think it's Cacciatore kind of got up into the gray, and he was doing a little evasive action there.
Just being safe rather than sorry.
Yeah. And he's right now in the draft of Cacciatore. The career IndyCar wins leaders here, as Dixon has 5 career wins here, and he is the leader of all IndyCar drivers. Castroneves has 4. Hornish and Newgarden have 3. And Will Power, Scott Sharp, and Scott Goodyear each have 2. So there's some names we don't hear on the wins list very often in IndyCar racing. But there you go. And I'm sure if they still raced here, Newgarden would probably tack on to that 3. Here is coming to pit road, Clindy for final stop at lap 119, coming to 120 here at Texas.
So Mark Murphy came a lap sooner, and Clenworth was in dirty air that entire lap. I would suspect that Murphy is going to have a lot faster of a pit cycle here because Clendy's in lap was so slow from that dirty air he was getting. This could make the battle pretty tight coming off pit road here.
Here's Clindy off pit road. Still coming up to speed. I think Clindy's going to be able to hold him off.
He is.
So Murph came to pit road a lap before, but by the time Clindy got back around, Murph was down off the jacks and still coming up to speed. So I suspect that if Clindy waited longer, that might have been a bad thing. Clindy immediately answered the challenge of Murphy coming to pit road, and that's probably what's going to keep the deficit big here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Well, Wagner has managed to cycle back up to the lead. He has smacked the wall a couple of times that caused him to have to pit earlier in this stint than he wanted to. But he came to pit road, executed the fast repair, went ahead, topped off the tank, threw on some new tires. So he is out of sequence at the moment. Can he make it to the end? Well, he's going to get close, but I don't think he'll be able to make it without stopping again. He has a second and a half over Clindy.
I suspect that Wagner right now, he's doing the caution dance in his seat. He wants that yellow right now.
Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's coverage of the...
He got
there
it.
it is!
The
There it
yellow's
is!
out.
It was
I
it Turner
suspect
Johnson?
Wagner is celebrating right now.
Where was the caution?
I'm not sure. It wasn't River Johnson, I don't think.
I have to check session events here. Oh, it's Johnson coming off pit road.
Oh, Turner Johnson, I see.
Yeah, Turner
Yep.
Johnson. So I can't just say Johnson.
We have too many similar last names, or the same last names.
So now this is going to get Wags back in the battle. He could come to pit road. New tires, top off, be fresher than everyone else. Because everyone else has been racing for about a handful of laps. And he's good to go.
With only 6 cars on the lead lap, too, there's not going to be many cars to fight through. But yeah, Turner Johnson just loses it on pit exit. This is a very, very bumpy pit exit, and I think he just hits one of those bumps and that rear slips out from under him.
And Greg Robinson's going to be able to get on the lead lap as well. So now we have 7 cars on the lead lap, and we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned sprint to finish this thing up.
Yeah, we're coming to 25 to go. Everyone can make it to the end on gas now pretty comfortably, and we see how aggressive these restarts can get and just how crazy this racing can be. And right now, no one's more grateful to be in the position they are than Matt Wagner.
There he is.
He's gonna be refueled and ready to go.
Now he's got some lap traffic in front of him. He's got Cacciatore, got Lovern's, got Napier. Now I think Cacciatore's going to get out of the way.
Yep.
So he'll just have 2 cars.
And I suspect he will be doing everything in his power to get past those lap cars as fast as possible. Matt Wagner, if you do remember, he was battling for the lead when he had his incident, so he has the pace to run up top with Clenworth, Murphy, and Ward. He has the pace to do it, and he knows it. And he's going to want to capitalize as soon as possible.
Let's show those again. There we go. I think we're coming ready to go, getting ready to take the green here.
Nope, lights are still on the
good,
pace
because
car.
this gives us a good chance to once again remind everybody of the upcoming preseason schedule. There you see it. If you like what you're seeing today and want to be a part of the recruitment race on December 20th at Phoenix, make sure to join the Discord server. The link and invite is in the description. And you can sign up to be a part of the exhibition race. And if you like that even more, you could sign up to be a part of, if that will show up. There we go. The season 2 schedule. Winner gets $50 for winning the championship. And then you'll also get another $50 drawing for a participant. Will be the end of the season. And also that Iowa race on the 29th will be a crossover with the Area 51 INDYCAR series. It will actually be a doubleheader. Race 1 will be over on Area 51. Race 2 will be here in Votive on P1.
That'll be a really fun race. Doubleheaders, even in real life and in sim, it's always really fun to have that challenge where everyone's learning from that first race.
Coming to green at lap 127, Clendy, Murphy, Ward, Mitchum, Coker, your top 5. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh! Cruz in the wall, coming off the corner. He's staying moving, so we're not going to get a caution.
It's going to come to a stop. I'm not sure if it'll bring the yellow out. He's trying to get to the bottom, and I believe we will stay green.
And now we got a battle for the lead.
And Wagner's in the pits.
Did we get a call? Oh, wait a minute. He has
Wagner-
damage.
Wagner spun off a 2. It didn't bring out a yellow, but as I was saying before, he had rejuvenated energy. He knew he had the pace to be up front and just had a little too much speed and lost the rear out of 2.
Oh. And now back up. Back up to the front. It's now we got this battle for the lead. And as Clendy and Murph battle it out, Josh Ward is slowly inching his way back into this thing.
Looks to be a 3-horse race right now with Clendy and Murph. They're battling, and Josh Ward is lurking, seeing if there's any place he can capitalize.
Oh, Murph. Oh, there he's back. A little bit of a blink there.
Clendy knows how to race with people who have internet issues, so I don't think for those who don't know,
a little too personal there.
Yep. And me and Clenworth are teammates in road racing, so he knows how to race with people with subpar internet pretty well.
This is your closest battle on the racetrack. I don't really want to look at it, although Coker is starting to get into Mitchum's range a little bit by 0.6. Oh. Not sure that was Rick Sanchez. He got a little loose coming off a 2. Out met with the turn 2 exit wall. Coker up 4 spots. Your big gainer today, though, is Greg Robertson in the 83. There you see him there in the Larson livery. Greg, we can get you another IndyCar livery. We can get you another one. In fact, we can probably find someone to paint you a better one if you need. But Greg is up 8 spots, and he is doing a fine job here as he's on the cusp of the top 5.
Yeah, Greg Robinson, it must be commended. He's had an amazing recovery. He was involved in an early incident and had to take his fast repair, and he is comfortably on the lead lap in the top 10 and knocking on the door of that top 5.
The battle between Clindy and Murph has cooled down a little bit. Now separated by 1/10 of a second. Ward 0.6 back to this battle. Clindy defending the inside, going into 3 down the backstretch now. Staying down low through 3 and 4.
Josh Ward, he wants to attack, but with Clendy and Murphy taking 2 lines, they're really giving Josh Ward nothing but dirty air.
Yeah, he does not have very many choices. It's either a right watch. I mean, very clearly. Illustrate this here going in. Yeah, middle. We'll go into turn 1. We'll illustrate it here. So dirty air. So really the bottom is where he is now, is where the clean air is. Watch it again. Where does he go? Bottom lane is where the cleanest air is going to be. Yeah, you don't have very many choices on a racetrack that's 3 lanes long, and you got 2 cars in front of you taking up 2 of those 3 lanes. And he's actually falling back now. He's now 1.1 back from the battle.
Last lap time, he was actually 0.3 slower than Mark Murphy. So this race quickly becoming 2 juggernauts in the IndyCar community, Kyle Clinworth and Mark Murphy, battling to the end as we come to 10 to go.
And remember, if you like what you see here, the invite to the Votive Discord is in the description. Sign up, and you can be a part of the next exhibition race and Season 2 when that kicks off in January. The next race, exhibition race, will be December 20th, coming to you from New Phoenix Raceway. Nine to go here in the closing stages at Legacy Texas Motor Speedway. And the battle at the front has kind of settled down at the moment as Clindy has now got himself a 0.5 of a second lead over Murphy. And that might as well be 5 laps at this point.
Murphy about 1/10 slower than Clinworth there. And Josh Ward, he is out of this battle more than 2 seconds behind the leader right now. Coming to 6 to go here at Texas.
You'll see a lot of these same guys Monday night with the ISRA series when that kicks off at Homestead, and a lot of these guys also Tuesday night when we have our doubleheader of the INDYCAR Oval Series at iRacing Super Speedway. Meme race doubleheader, that's right, meme race doubleheader. And that will decide the Season 4 championship. And then we'll restart all anew next week. The race 1, I believe race 1 of the next season, which is Season 1 of 2025, is Iowa.
Yes, it is.
So short track racing to kick off the next season. 5 to go here. Clindy, your leader now by a second over Murph. And I think Murph has given her all she's got, and frankly might need a late caution here to make a race of it. Other than that, he might just be trying to bring this car home second. As if we get a caution now, we're probably looking at a complete race.
I agree with that statement. And actually, I want to make a bit of a bold prediction for iRacing Super Speedway. I think the gap between the cars will be a lot less at iRacing Super Speedway than we're seeing right now. As we know, iRacing Super Speedway would be a great pack race to finish off the year for the iRacing community, and we see Clenworth, who will be present in that race. He's pulling away with this one in the lead right now.
Yeah, Clindy's even developed a bit of a driver's aid video that you can find on the P1 channel. Check it out. That was made by him. And we had 2 to go here at Texas for this first exhibition race of Season 2 of the Votive Indy Oval Series. Down the backstretch very cleanly. Top 3 looking pretty clean and clear at the moment. Just trying to bring these cars home with these very hot track and worn tires. White flag in the air for Clindy. Mile and a half to go to bring home his first unofficial votive win. But he's going to get $20 out of the deal, so not a bad Sunday indeed. Turn 3 and 4 cleanly through half a lane off the bottom, off the corner, staring at the checkered flag. Clindy with the win to start the week. Murphy second. Ward, the defending series champion, is in third.
And I don't think we'll see any AJ Foyt fights in the winner's circle, as this win is pretty definitive for Kyle Clenworth, winning by over a second. A very great race by Clenworth, Murphy, and Ward, and congrats to all 3 of them for the podium finish.
All right. Let's get into today's final results here. Clindy with the win by a second and a third over Mark Murphy. Josh Ward third. Mason Mitchum. Mitch Mason. Mason Mitchum. He is fourth, and a good race for him. He is up 3 spots to finish fourth. Shane Coker, the host with the most, a top 5 for Shane. Good run for him. Greg Robinson in 6th. John Napier 7th. Gary Lovern in 8th. Rick Sanchez 9th. Turner Johnson in 10th. A lot of these drivers having issues at some point during the race. Just driving to survive at this point. Cacciatore in 11th. River Johnson 12th. Wags, not the race he wants, 13th. But we will see him next week or later this week in the ISRA. Cruz 14th. Sam Costner 15th. Ashton Costner 16th. Moody 17th. Espo 18th. Ponce in 19th. And that is your 19-car field. As Clindy's going to burn it down.
Oh, he's burning it down all right. I was scared for a second. He parked it on the start-finish line. He wasn't doing burnout, so I thought he wasn't going to do any, but I've been proven wrong as he is. He paid for every bit of that rubber, and he's going to use all of it.
All right. And let's go ahead and bring in interviews for today. All right, and I just had a message in a DM here that I needed to get to. Here we go. And we don't see Josh Ward, but
just Clendy and Murphy.
Just Murph. So if Ward joins a little bit later, we will bring him on up. So let's bring up Murph and bring him into the booth. So this is a voice you're normally going to hear during the season, but today he's kind of scouting the drivers for the exhibition portion of the season. Is Murph, and Murph, well, I think we could clearly cite at least one favorite going into the season. Clendy, he managed to kind of just pull away from you there at the end. I think conditions of the tires kind of wore things out, and you brought her home second, best you could do.
Yeah, it's always fun racing with Kyle. He's super fast and super clean. I just I was a little bit better than him on a full run. But that last caution, when it came out, I had an extra 2 laps on my tires, and he got the better of me there on the restart. And I tried to hang in there for a while, but with the cornering speeds you're doing in the draft, it's just really easy to cook the right front or the right rear, depending on how you want to lean on it. And with about 10 to go, I couldn't hold the right front anymore. It was way too much understeer. And then at the end, to compensate, you move the weight jacker up so much you're dirt tracking off of turn 4, which at
right
215 miles an hour isn't always the most fun thing to do. So back her down, take home second place, and man, it's a lot of fun. These guys are good. I enjoy calling races. I enjoy racing with them when I can, and hope you and Campbell had a good time up there.
Campbell, did you have a good time?
Oh, I did. It was a blast watching that race. I saw some of you guys dirt tracking it off the corners, and I couldn't believe some of the saves you guys were making.
My run was pretty calm. Clendy looked like he had a couple of moments, but my run was pretty calm except at the end, and that was just out of necessity. I'd cooked the right front so bad that we had to. But full credit to Kyle. It was fun. It was fun racing with him, and I'm sure we'll have fun going back and watching the broadcast.
Scouting
really
wise, going into the season, kind of what did you see out there? Kind of what do you expect when we swap seats here in the booth and you're taking over the duties? Anything that surprised you out there in terms of performances of drivers?
I mean, there were a couple of things. I mean, obviously the cream of the field is always going to be there. We didn't have a Kesh Rajesh here tonight. We saw the speed of Josh Ward. I mean, obviously Clendy's going to be fast in an all-oval fixed setup environment. But what I was most impressed about was the back half of the grid. So yeah, there were some early hijinks and some early cautions, but we got long stretches of green flag racing, and the gap between the front and the back half was not nearly as pronounced today. It may have looked that way just because Kyle and I and Matt, before he disconnected, were kind of driving away. But on the flip side of that, I mean, you kind of would almost expect that. I mean, the experience level between Clinworth, me, and Matty Wags compared to some of the newer guys is massive. But that gap was smaller today than it had been at times last year. So I was super impressed with that. I was really I was really, really, really impressed with starts and restarts. So we had some issues last year with starts and restarts, and these guys did a really good job by and large. I mean, we had a couple of we had a couple of cautions right after restarts, but I think those were both the same guy. So, not a whole lot to clean up from the series regulars from that, and that was huge to watch as well. I really love the setup. Shane's getting better and better and better with that. These cars were racy, but they were hard to drive at the same time. The guys that could execute with tools and so forth, they got rewarded, and guys that maybe didn't have that experience, they got to learn a lot about about how not to use too much weight jacker today, because this place is really rewarding when you get it right, and it is really tough when you put too many clicks in that weight jacker or the rear bar for sure. So I was really again, the cream at the top, but then also the back half being closer. And you got to remember too, we didn't have half of the top 10 from the championship last year. No Rafi Eckert, no Edson Santos, Akesh Rajesh wasn't here. And those guys are bullet fast too. So it's not like Clindy's going to be able to walk away with all of these.
Before we let you go, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you get to say hi to, being that normally you're in my seat when people hear you and watch the Votive series. So give them a shout.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Shane Coker, for putting us on. This is it's a fun league, like I said, man. It's a lot of fun, Gary, to call it. It's a lot of fun to race in it. If anybody's looking for a fixed oval league on a Wednesday night, this is about good as it gets. Gotta thank you, Gary, you and Brian, for your efforts in calling it. Thank you for putting up with me and putting your name on my car. Got to thank P1 Broadcasting, Black Magic Studios, Andy Dunwoody, Brian Sharp, all the crew over there. Dark Horse Performance, so Kendall Paul, my endurance teammate. He's we're gonna start getting ready for a twice around the clock here. Not too much longer. He and I are gonna be way too tired of each other in a Cadillac at Daytona, but I'm looking forward to that. I got to thank Admin Box. So we'll get Shane to get in touch with Fish and get him one of those. So he doesn't have to have a live race controller. He can just hit a button and clear those black flags instead of having to type it. But got to thank Admin Box and everybody in Indy Alliance Racing. So it's not, the being good takes a village. Whether it's me or Jesper or Sam or Seb or Chris or Kevin, Rashad, Thomas, Will, Matt, Oliver, Connie. I mean, it's a village, right? It's not one guy that makes these things go fast. And Clindy's got his own group, and those guys are really good. But it's more than just jumping in this thing and turning left. I mean, without a support staff without a support team, it's really hard to be good consistently. And so, got to thank all those guys. And then I haven't shouted him out in a while, but I got to race with Trace Shadid the other night for the first time in a long time, and really enjoyed that. So Tracer, if you're out there watching, that was fun. But talk to Clindy, because he dusted all of us, man. I tried. It wasn't. I didn't give it to him, but he just had more steam today. So go talk to Clindy. Keep going fast and having fun, Campbell. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me in the booth today.
Absolutely, man.
Well, there you have it. The voice of the Votive Indy Oval Series here on P1 finishes second today. We will probably catch you at the next exhibition race at Phoenix. But until then, we will catch you probably on one of our next broadcasts here in the channel. So best of luck, and congrats on the P2.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Thanks, Brian. Y'all keep going fast and having fun here.
We try to. Better than going slow.
Definitely.
Let's bring up Clindy here. And here he is, Clindy, winner of $20 today and the race here at Texas Motor Speedway. First of all, your thoughts. I know that at one point you were having a little bit of issue with lap traffic. Lap traffic was a bit of an adventure midway through the race. But it looked like once you got to the last part of this race, you kind of drove away with it there at the end, as the tires on the Murphy car just weren't going to keep up with the pace that you were able to set. So Talk about the race, starting off first with the back markers, kind of the adventure that you might have had with those, and then the race there at the end with Murph.
Well, Gary, just call me Gojo Satoru. As soon as I go purple, you can't touch me. Go watch Jujutsu Kaisen. You'll get the reference.
All right.
This race was incredible. It was so much fun being out there on a hot track with gusting winds. The lap traffic was actually really fun to navigate. Yes, it's frustrating, especially when they weren't consistent. So I heard Murph talking about it a little bit, but they're doing their best to hang on, right? And so if for me to pass them, I either have to gamble and hope they hold their line or just kind of be patient and bide my time. 2 or 3 times I said to myself, man, I got rewarded for being patient there, or, oh, dang, I got burned for pushing too hard. And I almost threw this race away twice under pitting because Wagner roasted me, man. He made up a whole second on pit entry.
Yeah, we saw that.
Under that first green flag stop. And I had practiced pit ins and pit outs a lot in practice because I didn't want to get caught sleeping, but I think I prioritized not spinning when I should have prioritized being fast. However, a mistake-free race won me this race. And, a couple of times I was probably 45 degrees in turn one on a restart because I forgot to set my weight jacker back down.
Saw that happen a couple times. No, you're not the only one.
But then once in the lap traffic fight, I tried a little bit of trickery, just, put the bar up in the rear and put the jacker a little higher than I thought. Just was like, if I can wrap the bottom and rotate, I'm going to get these guys and I'm just going to walk away. I think I had a 1.6 second lead going into the corner, and then I had a 0.6 lead coming out of the corner. So, just that last caution was really, I don't know if it changed the outcome of the race too much, but it definitely put us in a situation where we no longer had to deal with lap traffic, and instead we were battling, fast cars and clean air, and it's way harder for second place to win from that position. So, Murph and I worked together a couple of times. I saw him behind me, and I've got a good relationship with him and his team, so I tried not to feed him dirty air. And, it was a great racing up there with Josh and Matt. Everybody was really clean and had a bunch of respect at the front. And, once we got those squirrels in the back finding their nuts, all the yellows went away. So they had something to chew on, and maybe they can go back and watch the replay and learn a little from the guys at the front and make this next exhibition race at Phoenix in a couple weeks a little more competitive.
Well, there you have it. Shout outs, any friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go? We know you got yourself a big week ahead of you.
Yeah, actually. So kind of my reason for running Votive is twofold. One, Shane put himself on my car this season. He believes in me. He thinks that I'm a quality driver that will get screen time on the Tuesday night top splits and in his own league. So I cannot thank Shane enough for putting these races on. The weather was great. The setup was great. Everyone in the room, all experience levels aside, did a great job racing their cars today. Nobody did anything that was out of place or dumb, right? Like I had a car crash in front of me and he alt F4'd to not impact the race. That was awesome. Like you make a mistake and you make up for it either by apologizing or staying out of the way. I felt like I didn't do anyone dirty, right? And I was tempted, but I didn't listen to the demon on my shoulder. But yeah, this is an amazing experience. My Sundays are going to be busy with Votive. My Mondays, I'm going to be racing the ISRA series, and I'm doing both of these series to get better in INDYCAR fixed, so that way I can run for a champ on Tuesdays in the top split fixed, because I just need more time, more seat reps, right? If I can race against more competition at a higher volume, I will increase my skill threshold, and I will be better than Ryan Campbell, because that guy's really good.
Whoa, he is bad, but he does have his lucky days.
Well,
and then obviously, I'm not done yet, Gary.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I
this.
thought you reached your stopping point. Go ahead. We know there's no stopping Kyle Clinworth.
We got P1 broadcasting on the car. Thank you so much for broadcasting this race. I've got Segerman Farms on the car. My number 1 fan, Craig Segerman, is at home watching right now, and I shout him out. And my number 2 fan, my mom, Paula Scory, is at home watching. Her, my dad, my cousins, my brother, my sister, everyone back home who makes this happen, and my wife who lets me sit up here on my computer when I should have done the dishes earlier. So hopefully I'm going to go to get my honeydew list done here this weekend.
Do that.
And we're going to enjoy some quality time, and I'll spend that $20 somewhere great and get her something nice.
There you go. That's for sure.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you
Hey,
so
no
much for
problem.
broadcasting.
No
I will
problem
get
at
out
all,
of your
man.
hair.
You got the win. So yeah, congrats, man. We are going to see you, I guess, possibly next Monday for the ISRA, and then we will see you on Meme Tuesday for Championship Tuesday in the INDYCAR Oval Series at
Yeah, I gotta beat that
iRacing.
Campbell guy for that silver medal in the INDYCAR Fixed Series. So we'll see.
I think with Clenworth's win today, I think he deserves a break. I think he should take Monday and Tuesday and spend it celebrating, personally.
Teammate jaunting. All right. Well, congratulations, guys. We'll let you go, Kyle, but congrats on the win. Pretty dominant win, all things considered. Normally, these races at Texas are normally by tenths of a second, and you got it by 1.4 there at the end and led 103 laps. So pretty dominating day. Congratulations. Now go get that honey-do list so we can see you at the next race.
Thanks, Gary. Catch you later.
Yeah. All right. There you see and how he improved through the race. He started up front, got as low as 9th, but stayed up there at the front all day today. And here are the final results once more. Final thoughts from you, Brian. Again, thank you for the pinch hitting duties. So as it would have been Ryan Eric King, but Ryan Eric King is at the for some reason, his journalistic duties took him to the Formula One Championship weekend at where are they? Not Dubai. They're at. Where are they at?
I believe they're Qatar right now.
Qatar? That's where he is today. So he got flown all the way out to Qatar to cover the Formula One race. So I told him I was jealous, but I knew that I had a worthy pinch hitter in the dugout here in you, and you answered. Congrats, good job, man. Another good race for you.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the Votive guys for being fine for me jumping in the booth and calling their race. And I just want to say that was amazing racing we saw. I mean, I love those races where it's just hard to hold on to the car and it's hard to keep the car going straight. And with this weather, the setup, it was drivable, it was racy, but it wasn't easy. This was a very well-earned podium for Josh Ward, Mark Murphy, and Kyle Clenworth. All of them should be very proud of their performances today to keep their speed up along with keeping their cars off the wall.
Well, that's going to do it for today. Once again, your podium here from Legacy, Texas, with Clindy with the win. Mark Murphy, P2, and Josh Ward, who we didn't get a chance to talk to, but he is the defending series champion. He comes home third, so he is kicking off this next season right. So join us again Friday, December 20th for recruitment race number 2 for Phoenix. Let's see, we will be coverage will begin around 8 p.m. Eastern time for that one, so that's 8:00 p.m. Eastern. As always, you can find the correct broadcast times in your area at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below, let us know your thought of today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe here while you're at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out more of P1 other iRacing programming, including Monday night ISRA, Tuesday night INDYCAR Oval Series, and later this week, actually, it'll be Championship Thursday on the Elite Racing Network. Myself and Luis Gonzalez Nunez, we're going to crown a champion there as well. So a big week this week here between P1 and the P1 staff. So check us out either here on P1 or over on the Elite Racing Network. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash SimCams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash SimCams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. Links are in the description. So, for Brian Campbell, everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gatto saying to all, happy Sunday and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, actually. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again Friday, December 20th at Phoenix for the next race of the Votive Indy Oval Series. Happy holidays, and we'll see ya.